Welcome back, Starladder fans. What a day of games it's been so far. Empire starting off in their first 3 games, going 3-0. Looking good. Now we've got Navi versus Virtus.Pro. We're at that halfway mark. K-Pop Tosis. Sleepyhead.
Yeah, I had to get me a bit of a Red Bull to wake myself up.
I woke up
some
caffeine.
We've been on a weird sleep schedule, man. We casted that.
It's going the back and forth from the time zones that
we
get
casted
you.
from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. the other day, and now we're waking up when we were normally going to sleep to cast. So it was kind of.
It's weird. You got to do the flip flop. But Navi VP, this should be a big one. Navi is still in the running for the top 4, and I'm actually curious. What are the?
They are 7-3. They're really actually. If they win here, their chances are looking very good. If they lose, however.
It's a lot of big games today.
Yeah, a lot of important games today. Yes.
And VP, they've got they've got their standard roster here. For a second, I was like, oh no, stand-ins aplenty, but it's their normal roster, so they're in good shape.
It's the Roxkiss guys. They're probably still tagged up as Roxkiss somehow for some reason.
Somehow, some way.
Sadoy and Yol.
Yep, Jotum and good old G. Navi with no stand-ins here. They'll have their standard roster. It will be FNG doing the drafting and Jotum doing the drafting here for Virtus.Pro.
Now, I don't know if you've known this yet, but I was told this by a friend of mine, Vikramon, because he speaks a bit of Russian, that 633 actually looks a lot like the Cyrillic characters for BZZ. And that's why he is 633.
Really?
A Russian B, like a Cyrillic B, is kind of like a B, except it's like with a curved top. And then you think what like a cursive V looks like, a cursive Z looks like.
Right.
You know, cursive Z looks kind of strange, like a 3 like on its top, and that's kind of what a Cyrillic Z looks like.
Oh,
so
that's
633 is kind of the analog.
That's a cute little bit of insight. I never knew. I always figured it was his lucky number or something.
It's just kind of a
BZZ.
It looks like a B. It looks like Cyrillic BZZ.
Oh, that's very interesting. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
But Virtus.Pro, they've only played 6 games. We just looked at the grid. They're 4-2. So this is a potential big game for them. If they win it, they'll be off to a good start. So a lot of games to go, but big game on both sides of the coin. So looking at this draft, Navi, they let the Tinker get through. And
oh, God, G's Tinker is ridiculous.
It is. All of the games that Virtus.Pro have played so far, I think at least 3 of their 4 wins have been when they have gotten Tinker on G. And it's been, to be fair, games that they're a little bit favored in, you know, some of the more one-sided matchups, but his Tinker is just absurd, and I think
they're ready for it. I mean,
a warranted ban. Yeah,
the Doom is okay with
First ban the Marana, which is not a bad choice, but I'm just much more scared of a really talented Tinker player than I am of a Marana. She's just certainly a good hero, but one that Navi, I guess, really don't want to play against.
G is 8-4 on Tinker this patch, averaging 13.2 kills per game.
Sounds about right. Yep, that's on point with the games that I've seen him play in Starladder this season so far.
13.2. And I guess this will be a BZZ Death Prophet. I can't imagine G not playing Tinker.
Remaining.
Yeah,
we've started to see teams play more of like a Tinker in the safe lane, sort of kind of sometimes, because it's much less about Tinker getting levels and much more about him making sure he gets his.
And I think safe lane Prophet is pretty good.
That's also true.
When people first started doing it, there was that like backlash of, well, she loses all out on the most experience, but the way the pole camp works now, the supports rotate around a lot, and it's not really that much XP she misses out on, but still gets all that farm priority. So. It's not too bad, but Navi, I like this, the silencer.
Vanscore is all about that silencer.
Oh yeah, the position 4 silencer, and he's really good at kind of that Owie 2000 syndrome almost, where he'll do a lot of support stuff, but undoubtedly he'll find some farm, and if this game ends up being another like 45, 50-minute game, you can expect that silencer to have some farm and some utility items, so I think a good pick here. You've got your Dendy Puck, and
it's probably going to be a Funnick Doom.
Yeah, I think so. A little tough on the dire side, but can just make good use of the jungle and rotate back and forth.
Funnick plays good Doom. Havos can play Doom as well, so we'll see what it ends up being. Also, Funnick can play Puck, so it could be an offlane Puck. But generally, even though Puck is more seen as an offlane hero than a mid hero nowadays,
it's still that Dendy Puck.
When Navi picks Puck, it's usually still for Dendy. So,
yeah. Ooh, Tommy rumbling. Yeah, people linking the characters in chat. It does look like BZZ. That's pretty funny. Yep. That's very interesting. So Lifestealer has been banned out from Virtus.Pro. I guess afraid of potential Havost Lifestealer. That is a hero I have not seen a lot of recently. He has really fallen off. But with a Puck, got a delivery vehicle, so certainly some potential there. Virtus.Pro going through all this reserve time, trying to decide what they want to do here. They'll need their second support. I think like a Rasta could be okay here. Earthshaker, but no. they settle on the Void.
Navi's turn
So
to pick.
this is shaping up to be a really good draft for Virtus.Pro. They'll have a nice off-lane Void, Tinker and Death Prophet, 2 heroes that have plenty of damage to dump into the Chrono, and your Skywrath Mage. That's the obvious duo synergy there that is all the rage right now. So VP will just need another support to their final pick, and there's a lot of good ones still left in the pool, regardless of what Navi ban out here. Something like an Earthshaker could be decent to pair with the Skywrath. Jakiro could have been solid. Rasta, they already have a zoning hero in the Skywrath, so they have the luxury of going with a less conventional or a melee support if they're so inclined.
This is such a TI4 draft.
Yeah.
Skywrath, Faceless, Death Prophet, Tinker.
Yep.
Tinker probably took off a little more. Actually, I don't know. He's kind of had this marginal, in the competitive scene at least, just popularity.
Yeah.
Slightly before TI
5
and going
seconds
through.
remaining.
Like, I remember people at the summit talking about just how stupid Tinker was. I think a lot of teams were spamming it in scrims.
Yeah.
And we're talking about just how ridiculous Tinker was leading up till TI4. And he got really popular amongst teams during TI4 to the point where that was kind of what Navi's whole strategy was. If Dindy couldn't get Tinker, they didn't really perform that well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it does here.
What does Navi want here? It hasn't often to be an option to be offlaner or position 1.
I think it's a Havost hero. It's
pick.
Just it's got to be a hero that can't die easy. It can't be any type of glass cannon.
What has Havost been playing a lot of recently? Luna is always the one that comes to mind. I don't know that. Oh, Wraith King.
Okay, I was going to suggest Centaur.
Is there a chance that they'll do a farming silencer? I know that's normally a Van Score hero, but
no, it's very possible. This could be a support Wraith. Support Wraith King with a silencer is very good. You get a lot of you get a lot of off stuff.
And against this lineup, I mean, they're very susceptible to a farm silencer who goes for a fast, like if he goes Midas, Eggs, Refresher, that is like, what does Virtus.Pro do? They're so ultimate reliant, and even Tinker is not ultimate wise, but just silence is kind of the bane to his existence.
10 seconds remaining.
They have a Puck with great AoE silence as well. I think there's a good chance it could be a farming silencer here, but we'll see. There's that Earthshaker for Virtus.Pro, so very predictable, classic support duo, Skywrath Earthshaker.
And it is a farming Havost silencer. All right, let's settle in, buckle our seatbelts. This is going to be a fun one.
The hashtag for today is officially seatbelts ready.
Seatbelts ready, yeah. Seatbelts buckled. Get your seatbelts buckled, guys.
Buckle up, boys. Click it or ticket, as they say.
Oh, God.
Click it or ticket, Brian, you know. You got to be a nice, you don't want to crash
Drive
and hurt
sober
your body.
or get pulled over.
Yep, that's a good one. They probably played millions of dollars for that tagline.
Just played one game of silencer.
This
patch, let's say about ever. I keep forgetting to
so only one this patch. It's a little bit different.
Once ever.
Wow. All right.
This is his second game.
We've seen a lot of just.
His other game did not go well. He went 2-7-5. Finished up with 265 GPM.
It's not a classic Havost style hero. I think those stats definitely make sense just in the context of how Havost likes to play, likes to be very bold, often likes to man up. Silencer is more of a it's a finesse hero. You got to sit back, wait for the openings, be patient when they overcommit, hit them with a Curse of the Silence, smack them around with the last word. You can't
really go too ham. Yeah, exactly. And Havost likes to go ham, so we'll see.
He is the Hamburglar.
So the question for us here is, what build is he going to go for? In TI4, which is the only time he played Silencer previously, he did go for the Brown Boots Ags Refresher Rush.
Yeah, and that's the build I think is best. I'm not logged into Twitch. That's irritating. What's with these Twitch sessions, man? It keeps happening to me.
Oh, well.
I don't understand. I just don't get it.
I do like pairing the Silencer with the Wraith King, though, because Wraith King is a very good frontliner and gets
nice and meaty.
It's really good for Silencer to be able to get some lifesteal as well.
Yeah, the Vampiric Aura definitely helps. So Funnel can be in the off lane. He should do okay. It'll be pretty typical Doom in the off lane. It'll be a little bit rough for him. He'll be able to move to the jungle and find that baseline of farm.
There are also so many good spells to steal for Rubik. I feel like Rubik is one of these heroes that really should be popular right now in this meta, which is all about BKB piercing really strong ultimates. Because all these abilities for these heroes, Faceless Voids, Chrono, Death Prophet's ult, Skywrath Mage ult, Chaos Dunk, like all these are really good spells to steal for Rubik.
Yeah, no, that's true.
He just kind of has his pick. It's like a buffet. It's like a spell buffet. He just kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I would like a Chronosphere.
This is one of these games where, like, even if he's just like kind of YOLO spell stealing, it's all pretty much good. Anything you get from the Tinker is pretty useful. Same with the Void. You either have a Gap Closer or a Chronosphere. Earthshaker, Totem is not so great. That's
pretty rough.
That's the one that's not so good.
If you get an ability draft on a ranged hero and then build it around it, that's pretty good. But
yeah, but
not in this situation.
Yeah, Fissure, Echo Slam, still a pretty high probability. And even Death Prophet. Crypt Swarm is, I think, an underrated ability to
it's
to
really
steal.
good because you're
amazing.
Yeah.
Especially for like counter pushing when they're grouping up, you just get the Crypt Swarm and you've got a great creep clear.
Well, you got that on top of your normal AoE nuke.
Yeah, that on top of Fade Bolt, it lets Rubik do absurd burst. It's not one you normally think about. And Skywrath, yeah, he's got some nice spells to steal. It's concussive, Arcane Bolt. It's okay.
Fissure is insane on Rubik too, just because of the instant cast time.
Yes, yeah.
It's like getting Ice
cast
Pass.
Point it's really ridiculous actually. So a great game, and Vanscore plays a mean Rubik. You're hyping up the Vanscore silencer, but his Rubik is pretty fierce. So FNG having some connection issues here. Unfortunately, old Wraith King, the old man.
It's really funny that they're doing this because Vanscore has been a vocal opponent of the farming silencer.
Really?
I can't remember where. I think it might have been on Twitter that I was reading it that he was basically flaming the farming silencer.
That's like his thing that it's all.
Well,
it's
he's
all
about the support.
Like
he really thinks support silencer is really strong just because of how well you can harass.
Yeah.
You can orb walk in lane and do a lot of damage with your W at level 1. It's really strong.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that one.
I think he just didn't see the merit in it, so now he's having to deal with it. FNG is the drafter. I'm guessing he didn't have as much to say, or maybe just maybe they kind of they brought him around.
Well, I think it also just makes a lot of sense in this game. Why are the towers doing that on the minimap? Was it been like that? Is it just because where we paused?
Maybe everyone is spamming it.
Oh, okay.
We're just not hearing the sounds.
Or my minimap just bugged out.
That flaming Azure mirror, though.
That's really weird.
It's Courier.
Is your minimap doing that? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's still doing it.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
I think they were all just spamming the defend.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Just took me a second. It was like, that's kind of funky. So, oh boy, seatbelts are ready here. I love Farm and Silencer though. I really think it's underrated.
Fun.
It's fun. It's fun, and I think it's really.
I don't think it's very successful, but it's fun.
It can be. It's not an every game kind of position one, but if he has the space and can get an early Midas, it's like the early. If you get like a pre-20-minute Ags, the damage
really
that he can do is absurd. And of course, it stacks with Curse of the Silent, so you can run in and get a double curse. People just melt.
Right.
Literally melt. So, all right, Navi, they'll do a smoke invade. They'll block the pull camp here. Not quite Magic Bush, but they will block the camp, or the pull camp to get some lane control for Funnick. And they'll take high ground.
They're posturing aggressively. They want to try to get a pick off.
There's
here.
a Radiant Observer here, so VP should not get picked off.
That turtle ward.
Yeah.
Great positioning.
It's cutie. Little cutie pie. So the other ward comes down for the Templar. I like those. They're very, very strong-looking wards. We'll get some lane control in the mid, and they'll block a medium camp here with this here Sentry. So just making the Tinker's life a little more difficult, making sure he can't stack up this camp that he'll often want to retreat to and find some extra farm with. So hedging their bets a little bit. Haste Rune will come out in the bottom lane, and it will be Vanscore to pick it up. Now, Navi, they will have Havos on the Silencer in the safe lane, Dendi mid on the puck. It will be the off-lane Doom by Funnick. Then they'll have the two roaming supports. Funnick will actually be the one to grab the Haste Rune out of the gate. So the two supports will probably roam around a little bit, but should be stationed up top, keeping that Silencer safe. Looking at Virtus.Pro, they'll have Sadoy in the off-lane on the Faceless Void. It will be G in the mid on the Tinker. Jotum will be on the Earthshaker. Starting off in the mid lane, kind of for some posturing support. Yol in the jungle on Skywrath, which puts BZZ safe lane farming away on the Death Prophet.
Look at this ward in the mid lane.
This one?
Well, that's blocking the Ancients, which is good. But the one that they have in the mid lane, the other one, like right plop in the middle.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's like the
smack dab in the middle.
I really don't want to get roamed upon reward.
Yeah, definitely. So this Sentry will get out the lane ward that Navi put down for Puck. So this will make Dendi's life a little more difficult and give G a little bit of a laning advantage here, all things equal, depending on how supports move. The other issue, or potential issue for Navi, is they don't have rune control right now. They have no vision of the runes, so it will just be relying on the supports. Sadoy, he'll be struggling up here. Havos putting that first point in Curse of the Silent. Yep. And Void is just not one of those heroes that's well equipped to deal with it. It's Time Walk, maybe you can use it twice to dispel it, but you just can't. So this not only means that Void will be low on mana, but he doesn't have his escape mechanism, so he gets zoned out a lot more.
The long cooldown means that having to use it is bad.
Yeah. So this is rough stuff for the Faceless Void, and he needs to be very careful. Sadoy
and they're going to go
posturing a little aggressively. He still have just barely enough mana for the Time Walk, but Telekinesis into Wraithfire Blast. Tavos doesn't have another curse, but last ward, that should be a first blood, I think. One more straight auto attack.
Stick charges.
Stick charges, exactly right, Brian. Whew, close call for Sadoy, but they're showing us the pressure they can put on the Void already, and won't be easy for him.
Talk about Struck City. Dindy is really having issues, man. He is 2-0 as compared to the 11-6 out of G here. These supports are going to have to. Then he's going to help. Need backup.
Sound the alarm, boys. We're having some issues here. I think a lot of it is that ward issue. The lack of vision really does make a difference, and lets G also just know that there aren't supports in, so he knows when he can be more aggressive in lane, kind of posture more aggressively. And here we'll see FNG rotating. And
Joel is going for this courier here. Look at this. He's got a smoke, and he's going to stay in the mid lane, even though the courier is nowhere to be found. It's in the north jungle taking something to Funnex.
I was going to say, look at this courier pathing, but okay, it's just going to Funnex. So he'll pick up a Quelling Blade as well as get one step closer to his Tranquil Boots, so that'll make his life easier in the jungle, recognizing that, yeah, I might as well just stay here.
Funnex going to run into Yol, I think.
So
no, just perfect pathing there to not have his smoke get broke.
It's an invisibility rune, Holmes.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was like, wow, it's not breaking. I thought he was in range.
This is one of those crazy smokes.
Oh, God.
Immune to
invisibility rune. Oh, well.
Yeah. But BZZ, he's just racking up the free farm down here. Funnex has spent basically no time in lane. He will grab a Satyr, great creep to move back into the lane with, give him some sustain and some potential farming ability there with that Shockwave if these creeps get low. So they'll shove into the tower, and he'll do pretty standard rotations as the Radiant supports move mid and try to make Dendy's life even more difficult.
Yeah, looking at last hits, Havos is doing pretty well in the top lane, 19-5. Saying about in pace with the Death Prophet.
Yep, and I think this will be a great opportunity for him to just go for the fast Midas. Is the safe bet here, let him really accelerate that farm, and as long as Navi can mitigate their losses and stay kind of quiet for the first 10 minutes, deny some farm from the Tinker, they've put some pressure into blocking out the Ancients. This, that's a Radiant Observer. Okay,
I'm going to say not so fast. I think he's going to rush the Point Booster instead. I think he's going to skip the Midas entirely.
This ward actually does not block the Ancients that Navi put down. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just barely out of the hitbox. That's a little bit of a bummer. Will just be a single Ancient spawn so far. We'll get, no, Jottam just walking by. Still haven't stacked it up yet. But is he going to, you think he'll go Point Booster first?
Yeah, I think so.
What makes you think so? Just a hunch or state of the game?
Yeah, I think that they realize they have to be relevant a lot earlier, and going for a Midas might be a bit too risky. Just might be. Okay. Entirely possible he does end up going back to the Midas, but I think Point Booster is a little bit more smart.
Oh, Sadoy, he'll get Telekinesis right into the Wraithfire Blast. Tavos is there with the Curse of the Silent, but that will be a time walk to safety, and just look at Sadoy's build. He's going 2-2-0, 2 points in the backtrack, recognizing that his life is hard. And I think a worthy investment here, but usually you'll see Voids wanting to grab at least a value point in that time lock for a little bit of RNG.
Thanks to some of that motion around mid, Dindy is able to finally catch back up in the farm. He's catching up fast.
Yeah.
16 to G's 22. A lot better than he was at 2-0 a couple of minutes ago.
Exactly. Still a decent disparity, but a big difference. And here's Sadoy. Will get roamed on. FNG coming behind the tower. No time walk available. He'll eat the stick charges and now has the mana for it, but still gets zoned out, and they'll just start moving into the tower. There will be a rotation from the Earthshaker outside of the Ancients, but he's only level 1. Jottam has really not found much this game, and that is a potential cause for concern on the side of Virtus.Pro. Just glancing at early levels, both the Wraith King and Ruvik have found level 2 and level 4, respectively.
Yeah, I think if Havos was going for the Midas, he already buy the recipe. Oh, well, as I say that, he buys the recipe, so it is the Midas.
Yep.
No,
I mean, there's just no pressure coming on him yet. But you're definitely right, and that will open up this window where Virtus.Pro can put on some potential aggression, utilize that DP ultimate, and Navi won't be in a great position to contest, but FNG only level 2, no ultimate, but they will telekinesis Yol. First blood gets drawn by Havos as he goes down, and now they're on the aggressive as they pressure Sadoy back. He'll time walk to safety, and this will be a tower kill. Havos with first blood and the tower back-to-back in the first 6 minutes. Now he's thinking, I'm so glad I got that Midas, because I'm going to have one hell of a fast Ag Scepter, boys.
He really is. Now with that Midas, he's going to, the recipe's going to get to him. He's just going to be able to go to the side shop, get that Glow of Haste, and then he'll have a Point Booster not that long after that. After his first use of the Midas, it won't be far behind. So I think the Midas is definitely the right decision here. Getting the first blood, getting the first tower.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And down bottom, Death Prophet did take that opportunity to put a lot of damage into the tower. BZZ going for the more kind of classic pub-style Death Prophet build, if you will, the 3-0-2. And Exorcism at 6. Because he's had so much space, I like the idea just to level it up early and do as much damage to the tower as he can. But with only 2 points in Witchcraft, he can't solo it down. Vanscore comes to its defense, and that will be just a free tower instead of a tower-for-tower exchange. As we see Dendi getting a little aggressive, has found a haste rune, and has a Dream Coil at the ready, but we'll just go back to safety in the middle.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dendi has a bit more restraint than most mid players when it comes to haste runes, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like some players will actually die because of that kind of the arrogance you get from a haste rune.
Yeah,
right?
that's the Merlini theory. I forget what he calls it, but like the invulnerability syndrome, where you get a haste and you're just like, there's no way they can kill me. I'm at max movement speed. And
exactly. And Dendi is a bit more reserved when it comes to that. Vanscore is going to get concussed bottom, but they're not going to be able to follow that up.
He'd be aight. Doom. Only level 4. Vanscore's farm is a little bit lackluster. And let's look at the graphs. Navi have about a 1,500 gold, but lacking on the experience.
Vost has a Sage's Mask, so maybe he's not going for the Ags Rush after all. Is this a casual Sage's Mask, or is he going for an Orchid? Or do you think the Orchid is a possibility here?
I think it's a possibility. I don't like it. I think the Ags is just better. I mean, Orchid is okay on Silencer. It obviously synergizes well with him, gives him an additional silence, but the Axe is just so amazing on that hero if you can farm it. Down bottom, Dream Coil comes out onto BZZ, but Fissure's there to break it up. Wraithfire Blast won't be there to follow up, but now that Haste Rune expires, Dendi has an Invis in the bottle and will use it. Looks like Navi will want to stay aggressive down bottom.
I don't know if they'll be able to get a kill behind bottom. There's too much, and it's hard to dive.
Oh, no. Yol pokes out of the lane. This could be a potential kill opportunity.
He's getting blocked in. I wonder why I'm getting blocked in.
Yeah, they ping it out. They know that assault is incoming. Vanscore with the telekinesis. They'll break down Yol. And Dendi will be in some trouble. Sadoy comes in with a Chronosphere, finds the kill onto Rubik, and Dendi does jaunt to the orb, makes the escape. So he'll be okay. 1-for-1, Rubik for Skywrath. Yeah, Puck gets a kill, Void gets a kill, kind of a wash there. But I guess all this time, that is room for Havost to farm up top, and now he grabs a Staff of Wizardry. So sort of an interesting item trajectory from Havost. Could very well still be the beginning of an Aghanim Scepter, could be the beginnings of a Force Staff. Hard to read into. I think the idea of a casual Sage's Mask is pretty solid on Silencer, though. It's pretty mana intensive. Is he going to go Yules first?
I mean, that's what a Sage's Mask and Staff of Wizardry builds into. But
yeah, no doubt about that. But that just seems so.
It seems weird. Yeah.
Like Midas into Yules. I don't think I've ever seen a Silencer do that.
I don't think it is. It can't be. That's.
What would the Yules give him here? That's so great.
Move speed and mana regen. Like the move speed's all right, and he gains a lot of damage from any type of intelligence.
I'm just thinking like any item he's going for here. I'm just thinking compared to a pre-20-minute Aghanim Scepter, and like having a maxed out Curse of the Silent with the ult. It just the damage is maybe easy to underestimate.
Maybe it is a Force Staff and just the casual Sage's Mask, because he has so much intelligence. The casual Sage's Mask does a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I think that as a casual pickup makes a lot of sense. Even if he wanted to just go into the Ags and get a little bit of casual mana regen, so he has a little more utility, I think that's A-okay.
2-minute boots of travel onto Tinker. G doing a pretty good job there. Solid. He's got the Soul Ring as well.
Yeah, not the best timing he's ever had, but very solid. 10 minutes is right on point.
Solid.
Yeah, that's true. With the Soul Ring and Bottle, it's good stuff. So he'll be off to a good start here. #1 on net worth in the context of Virtus.Pro. Still about 1,000 behind that of the amazingly farmed Havost, who found the first blood in that tower kill. So no surprise there.
Really interested to see what he's building here.
Yeah, me included. I concur.
There are lots of times where I do not understand Havost's ways, and this is one of them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Havost, I do not know your ways.
Oh, Havost.
teach us in the way we should go.
Yeah, and the other thing about the Ags upgrade is, like, you can get a guaranteed Curse of the Silent on top of that, so you can get the double Silent, which makes the damage extra good. Down bottom, Tier 2 tower, or Tier 1 tower will fall, but 11 minutes with a DP, just one tower going down in this time frame. I think Navi will be okay with that, as Vanscore steals a Crypt Swarm, and we'll just back out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, Glyph comes out as Dendi pressures the mid, does have a double damage rune. Navi have had rune control this entire game. I feel like every time I look at Dendi, he's got a new rune in the bottle.
Dendi has recovered insanely well considering his first 3 to 4 minutes in lane were about as bad as it could have possibly went without getting killed.
Yeah. And, well, Navi will try to block out the Ancients once more, but there's already a pretty big stack there. Looks like a triple stack, so this ward will block it, but VP haven't put too many resources into it. Havost, he spent some gold.
Okay,
what did he buy? It's the Ag Scepter.
He's going for the Ags.
Okay.
It's weird that he didn't get a point booster. Maybe he just for the intelligence. Maybe he wanted the extra mana pool and regen.
Makes it a little bit easier to farm. Just up your last hit. So in lane, I guess realizing like it's been pretty passive. He hasn't had to fight yet. So
that's smart.
Yeah, but I do like this. The casual Sage's Mask for the mana regen into the Aghanim Scepter. It is definitely the way to go. But now Havost up top will get initiated on. G looking for the laser, won't find it, and he'll just walk to safety after the fissure opener. An easy escape for Havost. So Puck's still pressuring the mid lane, and down bottom, FNG will just start absorbing a little bit of experience as creeps shove into the bottom tier 2 tower.
So it's looking good for both teams here, honestly. They both are probably feeling good about their chances. Havost is farming up really, really well. G's Tinker's doing great. BZZ's Death Prophet as well. Dendi's suffering a bit. He's not quite as high up as G is, but he's been having to make space around the map. And anytime there's a Dendi puck that has no kills at the 12-minute or no deaths at the 12-minute mark, you're feeling pretty good about your chances.
Yeah, and he did go for the powered treads first. So 13 minutes, you'd hope for a puck to be having a blink dagger around now, but 1,700 gold will be able to clear up this creep wave and should be a pretty decent timing. He'll have a blink right around the time the Aghanim Scepter comes out on the silencer.
And those Ags he'll have his Ags at about 15 minutes. He'll have his minus off cooldown. He'll probably be able to kill a couple creeps. He's got everything else. He's got the Blade of Alacrity on the courier. So
and now Funix gone hand of Midas as well, moving into a mech. Has the buckler. So I feel like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range, Navi are going to have this huge burst of big item pickups between the mech, the blink, and the Ags. And that's when they can group up and really start taking a team fight and pressuring this Tinker.
They're going to be absolutely belligerent. Looking for fights.
And FNG will even find his level 6 now, so that's a reincarnation.
What was the South Park thing about Russell Crowe, like, fighting around the world?
I don't know.
He just goes around fighting people.
Master and Commander style.
Dire's middle
It's like, I'm going to travel the world and fight everybody I see. That's kind of like what Navi wants to do right now.
Yeah.
They're going to farm up these items, and then they're going to hit a really good point, just a good timing of effectiveness.
Yeah.
Before this Tinker gets all of his items up, and the Void is still really poor, and that's really now when you want to hit him.
Yeah. And 15-minute Aghanims is a really good timing on Silencer. Anything pre-20 minutes is good, but Sidoi mid lane will use a Chronosphere. Where's the follow-up damage, though? Fissure comes in to kind of break it up, but Dendi will be able to survive. Sidoi taking a lot of return damage. A stolen Chrono from Vanscore will connect on 3 as the orb flies through. Won't be able to jaunt to it because he's too low health, but I think the real story here is that they didn't find a kill. Now they get another one on the Skywrath Mage. It's a 2-for-0 exchange. The reincarnation is used, and FNG needs to be a little careful. Vanscore playing with fire as he tries to steal the exorcism, grabs himself a Crypt Swarm, and will be forced to back out. But Navi, 2-for-0, and they were the ones on the back foot.
That's a Ag Scepter. He's got it now.
Yep, there it is.
Dire's
so
middle
Courier will
tower
fly
is
over, he'll
under
pick it up, and that baby will be complete. He did have to use the global there, so we'll be stuck on cooldown for a little while longer. But I don't even think that they'll be able to get a tower off this exorcism push. That was very ambitious from the Faceless Void. And
Sidoi is so poor. He only has the Aquila. It leaves him very squishy. 2 points in backtrack, 853 HP, not even treads.
Yeah, he really does have.
No PMS, no treads. It makes for a very, very sad Faceless Void. I'm really surprised Dendi didn't go down there. He just got zoned out by that fissure. It kind of blocked off the rest of his team from getting there. As a sexy.
Yeah, no idea what they're saying.
No clue.
Oh, router issue. Yeah,
there we go. That makes sense.
But yeah, that's like it's a twofold victory with this Silencer pick. Not only has he had great farm and he'll be a great carry now with all this momentum, but they completely shut down the off-lane Void. And usually Void can find at least a little bit in the off-lane, find some baseline of farm, get some early treads going on, start the makings of a Midas, but he's basically down with the supports. He's at 2,400 net worth, and that's where Wraith King is on Navi. He has 1,900, and he'll be surpassing the Void before too long here if things keep up.
G is still doing, VP is still farming insanely well. The Death Prophet has 112 last hits, 96 on G. They got to, I don't feel like Virtus.Pro probably feels like they're that disheartened right now. I feel like they still think they have pretty good chances.
I think they still have an okay chance, but it's quickly becoming increasingly difficult. 4,000 gold, 3,000
Still that Tinker, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with the Tinker, I wouldn't count him out anytime soon. He's got a Blink Dagger now, and we'll be looking towards a Dagon. That Null Tally will be put to good use for sure.
And Chrono Exorcism can kill just about any single hero.
I think Virtus.Pro have they'll have a solid chance until the refresher comes out, and that's when things get very difficult for this Silencer.
That's another good point about the Sage's Mask, because that does build into the Oblivion staff.
Yeah.
So it's not a complete waste. Oh, it's Doy.
Yeah, he'll get doomed, and yeah, no way he's surviving this one. More than enough damage, and the fiery sword of Funnick will chop him down.
And Advanced Core will still Chronosphere again.
Oh yeah. Void doesn't care so much about it, but the rest of his team, not so excited about it.
We saw it last time. It was able to secure another kill.
Yeah.
On one of the supports of Virtus.Pro by throwing out that Chronosphere. Well, after the Void was dead, so.
Yep. Casual Sage's Mask OP. Exactly right. Exactly right, Twitch chat. You're on the money. No,
when you have that much space, when you have that much intelligence, it does a lot of work.
Yep. Yep. So 5-1, Navi. Well, they're living up to the hype here. They're in good shape now. Blink Dagger comes out on
A lot of people have given this team a lot of hatred. Well, not necessarily hatred.
Flack.
Some flack. Flack is probably a better word. Hatred's probably a little strong. But they've actually performed relatively well since forming on this new squad. They're 7-3 in Starladder. They're 3rd place in Starladder, meaning at that point. They've had a good record. Like looking here, since TI, they've went 36-20, a 64% win percentage. That's very, very favorable. Like they're a good squad. Like they've needed a little bit of time to figure out their identity and determine what is the best route for them as a team to take. But I think they're a very strong squad.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely able to compete on the international level.
You've still got that classic Navi core, the Funnick, Dendi, and Habost, but Faceless Void, Chronosphere onto Doom. And the Mystic Flare's there, but if Funnick is just too big, he's got a mech, he'll heal up, and now the stolen Chrono, and Void will say, well, I'll try to walk away, but there's a Dream Coil there. Will they have the damage? And the tether break from the TP out will secure the kill on the Void, and Dendi finds a double.
That's unfortunate.
I feel like Zatoi's just getting too YOLO with these Chronospheres. I like the thought process there of like, all right, let's roam into the jungle. We're a great duo. We can get a kill. But
at the end of the day, you're here.
End of the day, you're there, and anyone but Funnick. I mean, he has 1,400 hit points and a mech.
And he hits for kittens.
So, yeah, exactly. He doesn't even have treads. Like, at the very least, you need the treads. Like, the gloves of haste alone are a valuable asset in that.
The Faceless Void Mace hits you, and you just kind of get filled with warmness. Like it just feels. Yeah. It's kind of like getting a massage.
Like, oh, rainbows feel nice.
It's like getting those like hard pressure karate chop massages is what it feels like.
Yeah, and here comes FNG continuing to block the Ancients. I think this one will actually block it. The other one was that first one we saw was just a little bit more down south, and this one should be right on the edge of the box. And prevent those Drakes from spawning again. So they're doing a really good job preventing G from just farming out of control. He is close to his Dagon, has the staff now, and just the recipe away. So.
And it is the refresher build from the first. He's already put
I like that.
This will be fun. It's a lot of damage. So with the Ag Scepter, it applies Curse of the Silent to everyone. So if no one casts well, you can't cast a spell really because you're silenced. So it'll end up doing 65 times 6 damage times 2 before.
Yeah, if he can hit if he hits all 5 with the curse after the ultimate, it's
780 damage per hero before magic resistance.
Yeah, and that's a lot, and that's just Habost. That's not counting all the follow-up damage from the Punk and everyone else while you're silenced running around like a magic carp trying to figure out what to do.
It's an AoE Zeus ult that also does is a dot that also silences everyone.
Yeah, it's sure damage for sure. And Curse of the Silent lasts for 6 seconds. Well, guess what? Level 2 Ag's upgraded Global Silence happens to last for exactly 6 seconds as well. So you get at least 1 full duration Curse of the Silent.
Awful seconds not being able to talk. That's a lot. That's effectively meditating at that point.
Good way to put it. So Dagon comes out for the Tinker, and G still 0-0-0. He just hasn't had any opportunity to find kills, and he's been playing kind of the ricing game.
He's realizing there's not really much benefit to being involved in these fights.
Yeah. Bottom lane, he'll clear it up. They start to converge on him, and he will just blink into the trees, rearm, and yeah, he'll just BOT back to safety just in the nick of time as they start to converge on the lane. DP moves into a BKB, so FaZe Boots, Yules, now Black King Bar.
Dire's top tower is under
against
attack.
the silencer, because if you pop the BKB after the silence, you get purged of the silence. So.
Yeah, so the BKB is still a much needed. That is one counter to the silencer style here, but the problem is nobody really has enough farm to get one.
Then when Havost refreshes and uses it again, even if the BKB is still up, you still get farm.
Yeah, it's sort of like the trump cards and the ultimate trump card on top of that. And there's your first global comes out. We'll see sort of two fights break out. Death Prophet gets doomed up on the side. Skywrath NG will be isolated down bottom. It will be a quick 2-for-0 to get things started. Funnick on the front lines as the tower goes down. Jotum connects with a stun. That'll stop him dead in his tracks, but he's not stopping there. Funnick really wants Jotum, hits him with a level death, and does a hell of a lot of damage. That'll be a 3-for-0 Sidoi. Throws out the Chrono. Vanscore has stolen the Exorcism.
Kill him? Nope.
No, he's just too tanky. And now this stolen Exorcism will help them do some extra damage to the tower.
Vanscore steals have been on point this game. Here
seriously.
He is. He just got the Exorcism, and now he gets Chronosphere again.
Yeah. So Navi, they get a 3-for-0 and the tier 1 tower out of that. Now 10-1. Thought this was going to be a pretty close game, but it's looking like Navi might just run away from it.
Never count out Tinker, okay? Like, G is still farming his little, mechanical arms off, so, like,
yeah, there's still a little bit of hope.
It's a good comeback mechanism.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of hope. Breaking high ground will be difficult for Navi, but
it's not looking good for Virtus.Pro by any means.
Yeah, they just can't find good exchanges or even exchanges for that. Navi have a great late game advantage. They have a double Midas, and they're the ones that are able to take fights and kind of have their way with Virtus.Pro. Now it's 10,000 gold and experience. Dendi, what is here? Is that a okay? It's a Yule's coming out on him. I thought that might be an early Scythe. I saw the other day Nahaz tweeted that Dendi just broke the record for fastest Scythe in a competitive game. He had like a 20-minute Scythe of Ice or something like that. It was ridiculous. So I thought he may be rushing it here, but there's Havost with the 2 core pieces of the refresher, just a recipe away. 22 minutes in, he's at 11,000 net worth. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, Sidoi, he's looking for his options here, thinking about
he needs to not be aggressive
when that Chrono will be available.
He's got 25 seconds left on it.
He's just, I don't know what Sidoi does here. He's just, how does he find recovery farm? This is another one of these with the vacuum cleaner Tinker clearing out areas where he'd like to be farming, and obviously Tinker's the higher priority.
The really unfortunate thing is Vanscore's level 11. He hit level 2 of his ultimate before Sidoi has. Full 2 levels above Sidoi right now, Vanscore is. So any Chronosphere that Void throws, Vanscore's going to get a better one.
Oh, they'll find Dendi. He fakes the TP, and they jump on Dendi. I like that little bait there, but now the rest of the team will follow up. BZZ does use the Exorcism. And him on Sidoi. Bottom lane. Oh, Funnick. 2 fights breaking out. And Funnick, he'll be all by himself, but the ultimate from Silencer should be enough to secure the kill onto Sidoi. They'll not get the deny.
Double kill for Havost.
Oh man, yeah, they used the Chronosphere on the Prophet in the mid, and now Yol will take a Wraithfire Blast as he procs the ultimate onto FNG. Havost is there, and in comes Funnick with a level death. Will end as a 1-for-3 exchange, and again, they get a tower out of it. So
this unchecked Silencer just absolutely didn't work. That is his refresher recipe.
Yeah,
it's about to get heavy.
Yeah, it's already heavy. It's gonna get it's scary here. And they were trying to gear up for that deny on Sidoi, but just underestimating the amount of DOT damage from the Curse of the Silent and the Doom, and just whiffed it. Ended up being a double kill. So now Navi will feel safe moving into the Roche pit, and that's reason why they can't secure it.
I'm really impressed by Navi this game, because I've also been impressed with Virtus.Pro. I thought this new lineup has shown a lot of potential, and they've been playing really well, especially G on his Tinker, and for Navi to just be performing and executing as well as they are in this game against this team that I had a lot of respect for. Just shows that they're back, guys. They're a good squad.
They're back. Roche goes down. Silencer is the one to pick up the Aegis, and
Mass disconnects.
Whoa, daddy! It looks like we had a service split there. Everyone's gonna drop out.
Russia. Or Eastern Europe.
Are we next?
I don't think so. I think this might. I think Eastern Europe just kind of died.
FNG is the lone survivor here. So all right, we'll have a nice little pause to recoup and think about what's happened. Vanscore a little frustrated with that one. Not a great time for a disconnect. Mass disconnect at that. At least everyone can get back in. Man, it looks like all of our observers coming back in here as well. So it should be a short pause, but Vanscore has Crypt Swarm right now. Exorcism not up for another 15. And Navi, they'll come out of the pit, and I think they'll just be eager to take a fight right here in the mid and defend this tower.
Havost will have double ult either immediate, or he'll have ult either immediately if he needs it, or double ult in 50 seconds.
Okay.
So.
Well, they're hashing it out.
I kill.
I kill.
Oh, man. Okay, we don't have time to talk about it. I was going to tell a story, but we don't.
All right, here we go. Yule's out on the Rubik, and VPO just sound the retreat. Roche is dead, boys. Let's just get the hell out of here. And tower will stay standing, and that will secure a deny. Havost will just chop it down, and
has been denied.
Yeah, will be an uncontested Roche. Again, Havost was the one to grab the Aegis, and we'll just continue on. Only 2 kills for Virtus.Pro this entire game. That's so sad.
Making that 13.2 mark gonna dive a bit for G's Tinker kill rate.
Yeah, say goodbye to your epic win rate. 12,000 gold.
Unless they can turtle, which I'm not giving up hope that they can.
The problem with turtling here, though, is Navi already have the farming tools. So turtling up is just not a... It doesn't solve their problems this
Void
game.
Tinker Death Prophet does do a lot more later than like a puck Doom does, but Havost, like Silencer does scale.
Yeah,
we're gonna
so
see
far behind.
Vanscore
gets silenced straight up. Now Havost comes pressing in. There's the first ultimate, has the refresher, and they'll find the kill on Sadoy.
Poor Sadoy.
Poor bastard.
He doesn't even need to use the double ultimate.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have gotten another kill with it, so he was smart to save it.
Yeah, that's poor Void. Wishing he had a face right now so he could shed a tear.
He's got eyes. He can. Oh no, actually, he doesn't have eyes. He's got a mouth. He can like.
He can
salivate
yell
with sadness.
Oh, BZZ caught in the telekinesis. Now there's the Yules to buy him some time after the Wraithfire Blast. G is coming in doing what he can, but now he'll get Yules'd up and they'll press forward. Dream Coil on 2. BZZ will try to stand his ground. He'll go down. G gets dropped in a matter of seconds, and it's a 3-0 following that whole fight. They're just falling apart. Even this farmed Tinker, there's only so much a Tinker can do.
I still think they have.
Still think they have a chance.
I think my optimism has ran out here.
Yo, this fat lady is singing up a choir. Oh boy, now Skywrath just gets chunked. I mean, the lead is just too big. 2-17. The gold experience difference. I mean, just look at the level chart. I mean, you've got Tinker at 15, and after that, there's just a big drop off.
You had a 23-minute extra pressure silencer.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And now the tier 2 tower mid falls. There's a huge creep wave shoving in bottom, so they can just rotate there and get another tier 2 tower. Already, Havost with 3,200 gold.
He also has
6-0-9.
stolen intelligence, which is something we've overlooked. He's been involved in a lot of these fights early and stealing all this intelligence. And the other good thing about Curse of the Silent and the stolen intelligence is they changed it not too long ago that if you are the kill source of any kill on the map, you get the stolen intelligence.
You get the intelligence. So even if you're not there, it's either radius or you get the last hit. So that's huge. And now they will just rotate bottom. And this tier 2 tower, I think, is short-lived. There is a glyph, so maybe Virtus.Pro, maybe, just maybe, they can make a hold. EP's got this BKB, but it just feels like it hasn't really done much.
I mean, you kind of had to.
Yeah.
Up against
it's like one of those where I have to get this item, but
it's game losing, but
don't know
else.
if it's enough. Yeah.
It's like game losing, but you lose either way, kind of, sort of.
Lose-lose scenario. Ooh, FNG, he'll walk right into the danger zone, has his ultimate up in 5 seconds, so just can't get bursted down too quickly, and he'll survive that initial onslaught just in time for reincarnation to be used. Now Sadoy, Chrono on a couple, but it's stolen once more by the Rubik, and FNG will get locked in. It will cost Havost his Aegis, but now they're going on to BZZ. And actually, Wraith King and Rubik both fall. Dendi gets a coil on 2. Now that Havost is back up, has an ultimate in 5 seconds, and should be able to play clean house here.
That should kill Sadoy.
Yeah, they'll get the Earthshaker, and maybe Havost will just save it this time. So Virtus.Pro actually take a decent team fight there, but now BCZ gets baited out. He'll use the Yules.
Oh, he is going to use it.
Okay, hoping.
Oh, and he throws the Curse of the Silence. So BCZ's going to take a lot of damage from the double curse. Is he going to refresh and use it again? No, it wouldn't kill him.
Definitely not. Yeah,
Sadoy
would have been a close call, but he had stick charges, and that was enough to keep him alive in the base. So, well, probably the sloppiest fight Navi has had so far this game, but still not too shabby.
Vanscore's been on point this game because Sadoy Chrono, Dendi, and then time walked right in, and Vanscore's right there with the lift outside of the Chrono. Like, good positioning to make sure he didn't get caught in the Chrono. 1, and 2, being able to lift up the Sadoy immediately. So Dendi was able to survive the initial onslaught, because that would have been even worse for Navi if Dendi wouldn't have survived.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Vanscore's
DP
plays.
bought back there. So that's another, looking at that team fight, even though VP got some recovery kills, the net worth is not fluctuating in their favor. No, BZZ, he'll walk right into a stun, telekinesis. Yol is nearby for some follow-up, but so is Dendy. And no, BKB use will mitigate the silence. Same deal for Yol and the Yules, but won't be enough to save his poor Skywrathy life. And Dendy hops forward, uses the Shivas, looking for the opening. Won't catch anyone, and he will just back out. G picks up the Yule Scepter here, though, at level 16, hanging on to a level 2 Dagon.
Okay. You usually see the Yule Scepter on Tinker when the other team gets Mass Blade Mills, but I don't. I guess he just.
I guess it's like, okay, I guess the Curse of the Silent. Like, if he gets double Curse, then you can Yules to buy yourself some time. And it's like kind of the best that I can reason it. Just a reset tool. Same if you get.
And the Curse also burns a lot of mana. Well, not that much mana, honestly.
Well, the double Curse chunks the mana down pretty quickly. It's a dent. Let's see, how much is it here? Mana loss.
Does have as much damage.
22 a second. So yeah, it's like 400 mana if you get both of them off for like a 6-second charge. Well, actually, that's a good chunk of the Tinker's mana. That's a third of it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that's almost a rearm. That's a rotation. So. I mean, this Tinker isn't at that point now where he's so fat that he doesn't care about mana. He definitely cares a little bit about his mana.
You're right.
So, 4-hero Smoke. They'll find a double damage rune. Will they reveal the smoke for it? Yes, they will. BZZ scoops it. And what's the cooldown remaining on Havost? 48 seconds. And Refresher will be down for another 76.
Navi's kind of laying the trap here. They want them to go on FNG. But that's a little bit too obvious. So Virtus.Pro will decide to not engage. Wraith King's kind of the most obvious bait target. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I'm a Wraith King.
Yeah, just a casual Wraith King, you know, farming up.
Look at me, I've only got 1,500 HP.
Yeah, it's true.
He's the big boys. But it's like, yeah, okay, you engage on him, and the rest of my team's going to be there, and then I'm going to come back to life and kill you.
Yep. Second life, bitches.
Yeah.
Master of Second Life.
And throw my Ghost Rock in your face.
Dude, he's like the kind of guy. He's doing the Dwight Schrute. He plays Second Life just to make second life.
Oh god.
If you need to be further disconnected from reality.
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a real thing. It's a thing they made up in the office.
Making it up a thing. Okay, good.
No, it's. I can't take credit for it, but that was when Dwight was like depressed. He was so depressed that he made his Second Life character design a Second Life. So
it's like in Minecraft when you can play Minecraft in Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly right. Same exact thing.
All right.
Or it's just like, what are we even doing here, guys? What's the plan?
What are we even doing here?
Yeah, so Navi, they're just taking their time. I mean, they know they have this huge lead. Havost will now find a Scythe, and even better, I mean, a great item on Silencer in a vacuum, but with the Refresher, that means now you've got a double piggy. And you know what they say, the only thing better than one roast pig dinner is 2 roast pig dinners, Brian.
It's true, people do say that a lot. Heard that a lot.
I thought that was a classic Alabama pig roast saying.
Well, we don't roast pigs, we barbecue them.
Really, isn't barbecuing like a subset of roasting?
They're very defined in different things with individual nuances, and you would do good to not loop them or generalize.
All right, the roast and the barbecue, very different. I gotcha. And looks like Funnick going into Shivas. This is the big problem here, like we talked about. Virtus.Pro can delay. It's hard for Navi to break high ground in like just a straight 5v5 engage, but they kind of don't care because they know that they'll just keep farming better around the map, even against a Tinker with great late game potential. Just look at the difference in inventories already.
I maintain if they delay too long, then the Void can actually get some items, and Death Prophet's physical damage still scales late. Like Navi's like, I mean, it can't just do nothing for the next 20 minutes. Like it's.
I actually think they could. So what? In that 20 minutes, Faceless Void gets a BKB and then maybe a Maelstrom. At that point, Doom's like 6 slotted. We'll have time to farm a Refresher.
I'm just saying, like not like. It's still not the best thing for them to sit on their laurels. Like they still need to get something done, I think.
Yeah, right. I mean, and they'll do that. They found that good medium. But oh god, G gets caught by a Dream Coil, and the follow-up will be here. BZZ uses his ultimate, and Puck goes down first, but then they follow up onto the Tinker. Here's the follow-up damage. The Cavalry has arrived. BZZ will just move into the tree line. He's already used his BKB, and this ultimate from Havost will really hurt. And killing spree, triple kill for FNG. Yol will stay alive in the tree line, but they trade Dendy 1 for 4. Funnick dies to the Wrath, or gets the kill from the Wrath of Time. Yeah, and well, never good to trade your Dendy away, but 4 heroes in exchange. I think Navi will be able to stomach it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. They'll push this down. Just push this tower down. They'll probably be able to high ground at this point. They'll have to deal with the Tinker, but I think
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they don't have creeps quite yet.
So maybe not. Coming in. Is there any buyback side? Yeah, Tinker could buy back if needed. DP cannot. I don't know that they'll force the issue. Roshan coming up very soon.
They're just going to take this and then go like this.
So, yeah.
Not having the creeps really delayed the tower.
Radiant's bottom
again, they're not really on any big timer, especially when you take a fight like that. That just extends that window that they can sit back and further their farm and know that Virtus.Pro or that step further behind me. Look at Void, man. He almost has a BKB, kind of. He's a recipe away. And by close, I mean, how long is it going to take him to realistically farm 1,300 gold?
I've ever seen.
Really is. This is really harsh for Sidoi. Rubik has now surpassed him in farm by a pretty big margin, as has the Wraith King.
We found a very good lane counter to face this Void.
Especially in the off lane, when he's by himself. That's the big. If it's like a safe lane and they're going to aggro try, I think he can still do fine. But off lane Void, yeah. So, I mean, what do? You can't time walk. You have no options. Magic Stick helps, but is not the cure.
So, Rosh Paul. Yep. Picking up the Aegis. He will probably continue to not die.
Yeah, he's on a flawless streak this game. 7-0 and 14, dude. 28 in. He's got a Mystic Staff. Just
KDA is
passive. Yep. BZZ uses the BKB to
Ghost
mitigate the
Rock
stun.
out of the face.
And yeah, BZZ will survive, but it's costly. That's your 6-second BKB charge, getting down towards the minimum. Down bottom, Dendi going for the solo kill onto Yol. Gets off the Dream Coil. Sidoi's there with the ultimate, and well, they don't quite stagger the Mystic Flare properly. And, yeah, Dagon to bring him down. Havos joining the party, and we'll have his BOTs. That'll allow him to get out. Sidoi goes down. G, he's in a fair bit of trouble too. He'll use his Yules, looking for the Blink Dagger, but
I don't have the refresher quite yet to finish off G here. The last word might be enough to take him down, especially after this it will.
Meanwhile, in the base, Funnick and his buddy FNG there just diving into the well. So, yeah, I think that sums up the game pretty well.
I don't know. I think Virtus.Pro might still...
They might still have a chance here, Brian. I know you're trying to be an optimist, and I appreciate the positive words, but
there's nothing to do.
This fat lady has sung, she's ripped her vocal cords, and she's having a dance party on the grave of Virtus.Pro. Yol will try to do what he can, but meanwhile, Funnick just dive in the tier 4s. Not a care in the world. Havos will go down bottom. Glyph comes out from the Radiant side. That will give them a little time to delay. Tinker no longer has his buyback. And he is up to a level 3 Dagon, so the laser can grab some kills potentially. But Vanscore, he stole rearm. That's something.
Wow. That's
Radiant's
good.
bottom tower
Good stuff. Fallen. Double Fade Bolt.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Oh, man. Yeah, Rearm's one of those, if he was level 16, it's like, I'm not sure you ever really have the mana for that one.
Are under attack.
But barracks will fall ever so slowly. There's the first Piggy. And now they'll jump forward. Dendi with the silence. Orbs out, but whoa, Dendi takes a tumble again.
For all the good work that Navi's done this game, Dendi's kind of just...
He's just in the front liner having some fun.
Yeah, he's just having fun. He's setting up all these kills. He realizes that he's not the source of damage.
G is able to make it back to the well. Death Prophet uses the ultimate. Vanscore steals it once more, and that'll be the end of the Prophet. And now Navi, they're slowly pushing, but now they'll be able to siege down the towers, and finally Virtus.Pro will tap out. They've had enough, and Navi, very convincing win. 8-31. The position 1, Aghanim Scepter, Midas first, Havos.
11-0 and 16, I think.
Woo! That was tough, man.
Navi looking really good now for Kiev. They're 8-3. The Starladder favorites always going in. Looks like they have a chance to make it to the finals for yet another season.
Yeah, they're off to a good start. And Virtus.Pro, that'll take them to 3 losses, so they're still not totally out of the running if they win. The remainder of their games could still make a run, but tough loss here. So we will have yet another break. 2 more games coming up for y'all. It will be Cloud9 versus the Hellraisers coming up next, and that is scheduled to start. I'm actually not sure when it's coming up at the half hour.
Hellraisers is like out of it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's even better.
Yeah. Oh, why
the straight
upsets
clown.
the
straight clown from Dread and the gang.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. I forgot. We're gonna see like some aggro try, axe, wisp, dazzle bullshit.
That's what I love about this. Hey, that's the best part about Starladder is because at the beginning of the season, you got all these crazy upsets that almost always are bound to happen.
Yep.
Okay. Mid of the games, you get middle of the season, you get big games like this that are really important to whether teams make it or not. There's a lot on the line. And at the end of the season, there's just these clowny, amazing games from the teams that are not disqualified, but aren't going to make it.
Aren't going to make it, but still are in there for the pride and
live
up to that
through.
CIS reputation. Yeah, it's good stuff. So we'll have a break here, guys, and 2 more games of Dota coming up for today's Starladder EU coverage.